Out the door.
Shit.
Gotta get up, get down. Badash Monare.
Okay.
All right. We are for real live streaming now. Okay, sorry about that. This is difficult stuff, man. It's a lot of working parts to make this happen. Okay. Daniel's watching. Thank you, Daniel. Still no audio. There's supposed to be a hey. Hey, Dang. Hey, Daniel. Daniel, is the audio working now? Oh no! It's a bad sign.
We got the tornado in the house, so.
All right. So Daniel, let us know if it's not working. You'll be our guinea pig here.
Daniel, come.
Daniel.
Wait, shouldn't he be in school or something?
It's Sunday.
Oh, burn on myself.
Burn on yourself. All right.
Like Sunday.
Category. Oh, I need to change that. Category is film and animation. Boom. All right. Boom. Two watching. Look at that. All right. So here we go. Freaking It Follows. Sorry it took so long. So again, let's talk about the time frame. When did it take place?
Whenever it wanted to.
Mm-hmm. That is no lie either.
It pretty much mixed every major time frame, it seemed like. Mostly 80s and now, and I guess future seashell usage. That's what really threw it off. What
was that seashell? That damn seashell.
I'm gonna Google that damn book seashell.
There's this thing that okay, so let us tell you why it was so difficult to understand when it took place, because the music sounded like it was straight from the 80s. The costumes seemed like they were straight from the 80s. The cars were all like normal today cars though, except for like maybe a couple,
yeah.
You know. But you look around like the neighborhoods, they're all like, you know, modern day vehicles. But then this girl has this damn like seashell iPad. You got something good?
I think it says it was actually made for the movie.
She has this like. You guys know the what was the Nintendo DS? It had two screens like that.
Yeah.
It was like a Nintendo DS, but it was like a little seashell compact. It looked like a seashell, and it opened up, and you could flip through it. And it was the craziest thing. Yeah, Daniel, we changed it. We changed it to film and animation, so it should be good to go.
The shell phone is not a real thing.
The shell phone is not a real thing.
The seashell smartphone / e-reader was made up for the movie to keep things feeling like a dream or something outside of time.
Well, it was definitely something outside of time.
For sure.
That is not to. By the way, this is not to discredit it. It's actually to credit it. To credit it in its favor.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people had questions about it, like, because a lot of people probably be like, I want that.
Yep. Straight
looks
up.
like a Polly Pocket, but it's a book.
Straight up.
I feel like that would be just annoying to look at, though. I guess I'm already annoyed at looking at my phone.
So let's see if we got any questions. We're gonna have to. I'm gonna hit Facebook real quick. Let's see here. Where's the link?
Are you guys excited for Call of Duty Black Ops 3?
Are you? Go ahead, take on with it since you the.
Trying to debate if I want it or not.
Oh gosh!
It comes out on the 6th. Remember that time you were so mad at me because I stayed up all night playing Call of Duty?
Yeah, I do remember that.
You were so mad.
That was some years ago.
It was forever ago.
That was some years ago. Is that us? I think that's us. All right. Sorry, we're new to this whole live stream thing, so we're just trying to get it all together. Sept S live. Daniel is continuing to watch us. So that's good.
Thank you, DC.
If only you could add a playlist of background music. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. I don't know. Maybe there might be a way to do that.
Don't give him no more ideas. Don't.
That's mean.
That's his next song.
That's mean.
Mm-mm.
Okay, here we go. That's what I was looking for. I was looking for this link. Command G. Maybe.
Maybe.
We're gonna make it through this, guys. We're gonna make it through this. It's gonna be awesome. Boom, bum, ba-dum. Dang it! Where do I get the link? Come on, YouTube. Come on. No, we're not using OBS. We found out a better way to do it that costs more money. Yeah.
We should have talked to our consultant before we do anything.
View on watch page. This is what I need right here. Boom. All right. All right. Here we go. Come on, people.
It's Sunday. I hope you all had a good day at church and are eating your dinner right now. When you're done, come see us.
No, that's not it.
Come talk with us about some film stuff.
Boom.
Know you like my singing voice. Ooh. Be seeing you.
Theoretically, that takes them to the live stream. Okay, great. Sorry. We're back on track, promise. No, Daniel, we're not using OBS, bro. We're using this awesome HD switcher. That's why we're able to do this with such high quality without any problems. Okay, anyways, as we were saying, so It Follows. Dang movie, the ghost doesn't do anything but walk.
After you.
Walks
until
after
it
you.
gets you.
And it was pretty damn scary.
I guess ultimately that's probably the scariest thing about it is knowing that something's following you and you can't.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do.
Wherever you go, it's gonna be there.
But I still do want to know, like, if I were to like fly to Europe, would the thing just like walk under the ocean until it got to me, or would it?
I'm pretty sure it would manifest itself. I feel like.
So you think it can teleport?
Yeah, if you can do that.
He did end up on the house for no reason. I wonder what started that whole thing.
Oh, it itself.
Yeah. Never really talk about it.
It's a public service announcement for you people that are out there having unprotected sex.
Yeah, for sure. Izzy!
Because it kind of seems
Izzy's
like
watching!
the tow bar?
Yeah!
What?
Izzy! What up? Yeah, so the thing that I liked about It Follows, I think more than anything, is the way that they did not hold your hand whatsoever. Even though they didn't follow their own rules a lot of the time. You know, like the thing being on the roof, for example. There's no real explanation to that. But just the anticipation of the whole thing and not holding your hand for it. Like, just that scene where she's in the wheelchair. I guess it's a wheelchair, right? Mm. And he's, it's the very beginning of the movie. And she's walking from across the room. Like, I could feel my heart just like angsty.
I think that's what this movie did best is, I think when it comes to a horror film, it's all about that feeling you get without that feeling, without anything actually happening, but that feeling of what's going to happen. I think that's probably, oddly enough, why they coined Paranormal Activity to be one of the best, because I think for some people it did give them the willies. Yeah, per se. Not
knowing, and we gave that movie a hard time with our Rotten Tomatoes, but it did do something.
It's because
a little
it was
different.
so hyped beyond ridiculousness.
Yeah.
As where It Follows was kind of like hi and then bye and then what was it, 80, 70%, 70, 80s?
Let's see. This is what
percentage wise, based off of audience score, it was
see.
at least.
Wait, are you talking about It Follows?
Yeah, It Follows.
This
based
is what,
off of the so-called scores.
let's see. It Follows got a boom 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 boom.
Bruce Campbell's so awesome.
He was just on the screen. Let's see here. It Follows 96 from the critics. 65 from the audience. I'm actually really kind of shocked. I guess people are just, they want slasher flicks, I guess, nowadays, and so this is definitely not that. If
You
went
can
into
definitely tell the people that prefer more of that build up and that tingly emotional feeling, and then people that are just like slasher flicks, that's it, there's definitely two people that watch horror movies.
Yeah. Well, and what kills me is, like, you and I will watch virtually all genre of horror, or all not genre but style of horror, whether it be the slasher flick or the paranormal, psychological thriller.
Psychology thrillers.
Izzy says we're jaded and we want our hands held. You're really right, Izzy. I think society now, like, they want everything. Yeah, they want everything spoon fed to them. They don't like endings. Where people hated the Inception ending. Like, what? And it's like, man, this is like, not knowing is what made it worth the while.
Because it makes you think, people.
Yeah. So we enjoy thought provoking movies.
Ultimately, same thing with Z for Zachariah. First of all, I was like, why'd they call it this?
Oh, I know why.
Why?
It hit me like halfway through the film. Remember that book she had that said A is for Adam? Mm-hmm. Clearly Z was for Zachariah, right? I don't know why I don't know, like, why.
I need to brush up on my Bible.
But Z was Z in that book definitely would have been for Zachariah.
I'm curious as to what. God, y'all, I ain't opened the Bible in like years. Sorry, Dad.
Daniel says, I really just want to be hugged. I have no friends.
We love you, Daniel.
Look at child rearing political process, etc. Yeah, for sure. Izzy is correct. So anybody who is just joining us, if you'd like to ask us some questions, please go to www.movieholics.net and scroll down and hit the Ask Us Questions thing, and then fill out a question, and we'll answer it here live. We'll talk about anything you want. If you want to know about the film industry, or if you want to know about makeup, Monica's your gal. If you want to know about what we think about a certain film, we're currently talking about It Follows and Z for Zachariah. Right now the topic is Z for Zachariah.
It kind of doesn't really tell me anything. He was the father of John the Baptist
In the King James version. We'll have to do a little digging as
that
to
is
why
that's a lot. So ultimately, what we're talking about is how some movies are thought provoking as to where others are just given to you.
Right.
So.
So Z for Zachariah is with Chiwetel Ejiofor, Chris Pine, and Margot Robbie. Or I say Robbie, but she says that's wrong.
I don't know. Everybody says it differently.
So let's talk about Margot Robbie, because she was really like the biggest question, I think, as to whether or not she was going to do well. I think everybody would have expected Chiwetel Ejiofor to do great. I think everybody at this point expects Chris Pine to do at least good. Margot Robbie, we don't have a whole lot from. We know that. We're gonna figure this out. I don't know. That was kind of weird. I don't know why I did that. So, sorry guys. Anywho, let's see. What were we talking about?
Peanut butter and jelly and peanut butter and jelly.
People are back.
So,
Okay, so let's see. What we were on Z for Zachariah, right? Oh yeah, Margot Robbie. So I think she did a pretty good job, man. Like she plays this like kind of country gal in a way, and she came off really sweet and innocent in the movie, and that's literally the polar opposite of what her character was in Wolf of Wall Street. You know, but she was like super high maintenance skank style.
Jordan.
It's the name of it. My name's Kyler Wilson. This is my new band, Kyler Wilson and Skank Style.
Don't do it, Brian.
Yeah, Daniel, we're having had an issue where the camera just like switched off of camera mode. I don't know. It was weird. It's probably gonna do it again in like 20 minutes. Anyways, we'll continue. So you know, Dan, you make a good point. If you want to ask questions, you can ask questions in the little chat here as well. But if you can't get that to work, or you can't, you don't want to, you can go to www.movieholics.net and leave us a question under the Ask Us Questions portion. But if you want to ask it here, live and on YouTube, we totally can. Let's look at some of the questions we had from yesterday, and you can answer some of these since you want to follow them.
I read this one.
Oh, we read this one. All right, moving on. Marquez.
What
Let's
about the
see.
Japanese horror question, though?
All right. Japanese horror. Where was it?
Up, right there.
Bam. Go ahead, read it. From Derek.
Do you like Japanese horror? I feel like American horror rips them off a lot. I like movies like Audition and One Missed Call. I feel like the Japanese horror focus more on tension and story instead of jump scares. That I do agree with.
Do you agree with that whole statement?
Yeah, because I watched a lot of Japanese horror.
Mm-hmm. You don't think Japanese horror uses jump scares, though?
Not like American does. Not like American does.
We speak American in this country.
It should be the only language.
I forgot about that girl.
No. Okay.
I feel like Japanese horror still uses jump scares, but I think they effectively
They back them up in a way.
They do horror better than we do.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
In general.
Well,
actually, so like you look at It Follows, right? And that to me feels far more like Japanese horror than
right.
our conventional BS, that we get.
I think Japanese does focus more on story as to where American is more of hack and slash, get it done, let's go, blood and guts.
Right.
And where Japanese is more, it does have a bit of thought-provoking going on, as well as, really nice effects, story behind their scares.
Izzy says, we have very little originality in American cinema. It's very true. If you don't believe me...
If you don't believe that, guess what they're doing with Ocean's 11?
What?
They're going to make them all female.
Oh, no.
I saw that on the news today. I was like, you are joking, right? Really?
Come
Did we
on.
not catch the fallout from Ghostbusters when they turned... Now we're going to do Ocean's 11?
We don't need that.
I didn't even wait around to see who they were going to talk about, what females were going to do it.
Margot Robbie is definitely going to be in it. 14. I think you might be saying Ocean's 14. Ocean's 14, all female.
But why?
But why? Because they're just like...
I don't feel like it's as captivating as the guys. I like the guys.
Doesn't even matter. Like, it's just like... Why'd they do 3 Ocean's 11s? I mean...
Because they were fun.
Well, the first one was fun. The second one was okay. And the third one was superfluous. I'm sorry. Superfluous. Is one of the females going to be Bruce Jenner? Well, he won Woman of the Year, so who knows?
Ooh, don't even get me started. If that's what... Nope. Not gonna fall into that one. Not today.
Ocean's 14, The Estrogen Files from Mr. Izzy. Yes, I love it.
I can only imagine, what? Why? I just don't. But yeah, when I heard that this morning, I was like, no.
Yeah.
And that's where it is. It's like, is that how far our originality goes? It's just to swap out males with females.
Yeah, I mean, it's like why
redo something we've already done that was great.
Why couldn't you just do a heist film with females? Like, why's it got to be Ocean's 14? Because
I feel like
I hear Hillary Clinton's going to win Man of the Year. Oh God, jeez, these comments are getting fun. Anyways, let's check. Let's see if we have any questions.
So yeah, ultimately, it's just what is happening to cinema?
Here, what do you think about this?
Why are movie actors jumping into the ranks of TV? People like Viola Davis have gained more buzz with TV versus movies.
But still.
Ultimately, because TV isn't necessarily set as to where, like, TV has room to move as to where movies, people expect it to be as written in a sense. And whenever it tries to get moved around, that's when it gets jacked up, I feel like.
I had a very weird answer to that. For me, I feel like people are jumping into TV because cinema is on cinema in TV is on the incline. Cinema in movies is on the decline. And you look at things like Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones and apparently Vikings because it's so good. From what everybody says, and even starting with TV shows like Lost, they took a different route, and now you got people like Terrence Howard doing Empire, and it's because TV has gotten so much better, I think. No?
Oh, I was Jonah.
Oh, Jonah's back.
And I was I shook my head to the question before you even done. Funny note, by the way, Wesley Snipes was actually offered the role of Lucius Lyon in Empire.
Really?
And he turned it down to do that other show I was watching the other day, him in.
That's interesting.
And I was thinking I was like, I can't picture it with Wesley Snipes in the first place.
I couldn't have imagined him being No, I couldn't imagine that.
But yeah, he was offered and turned it down. I'm like...
Let's answer this question from Mr. Jonah Riddle. He asked us a few questions yesterday. Are you looking forward to the new Captain America film? I'll let you start.
Man, I just... I get so frustrated with the Captain America films. For one, you can crucify me if you want to, but I can't seem to make it through one of them fully. I can't watch one in one sitting. I just it's easy for me to turn off completely when watching Captain America and not even pay attention to anything. Fair enough. That's probably wrong of me, but that's, to me, I just feel like it's not... I feel like it's a good story, but ultimately I feel like it doesn't hold enough weight for me to really... And I've really tried to watch Captain America's. Even in the Avengers, I just bleep him out. I just act like he's not even there.
Well, see, for me, you already know, and I think a lot of people know at this point. The reason I don't have a problem with Captain America because it's Captain America. I have a problem with Captain America because he doesn't fit with this team of superheroes. He's
he's supposed to be the leader, but it's almost like...
But he's just not needed. He can't help really in any big way. Iron Man can handle an army of drones by himself. Captain America can handle 5 people, 6 people, 7 people. You know what I mean? He he'd never be able to stand up against the likes of like the Hulk. You know, Iron Man can fight the Hulk, Thor can fight the Hulk, right? But he can't fight the Hulk. You know, he just doesn't belong in that world. Now people are going to be like, well, in the comics, and that's irrelevant because comics are comics and movies are movies. And they are the ones who set up this realistic world of superheroes that we have with the Marvel Universe. And Captain America, to me, just doesn't fit. Now, to answer your question about this movie.
I know we'll probably watch it.
Well, we'll definitely watch it. But I am fatigued. I am superhero fatigued to answer your question.
It's almost like, can we just get through them already?
If they go the extra mile and kill Captain America, I'll be okay.
Because then Chris Evans will have nothing else to do.
But I don't think they will. Favorite Avengers superhero? Well, are we talking cinema? Let me ask you that. We'll come back to your question.
I will say for Izzy, the American TV and European TV, I think that's why I'm drawn more to European shows, more British shows, because they do get away with more, but it's not completely just ridiculous. They get away with more as to where, American TV, cussing is like pretty much, they're slowly pushing it,
right?
But it's just stupid. It's to get ratings, as to where BBC and European tend to have reasons as to why they include certain things in their TV.
Fair enough.
And America's just like, oh, let's do this because we know everybody's gonna be talking about it the next day, blah 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 blah. And the next thing you know, it's just, what more can you do?
Yeah, sometimes it's so funny when American TV shows, when American TV shows like will superfluously cuss, and it
don't
comes,
even fit.
like case in point, I think it was Lennon Stella, the older sister on Nashville. She said "bitch," I think, in one episode.
Oh, I was watching it
and it was just like,
you darn teenagers.
It just didn't work. It felt like it was forced, and there was almost like this hint of like in her voice, because she knew she was saying a bad word, but she was anyways. All right, so we got the clarifications. Favorite Avengers hero from the films?
Ooh, I'm torn between. Honestly, Iron Man or the Hulk. I mean, I've always liked the Hulk.
I think I'd have to go with Iron Man.
But Iron Man has that charisma about him.
He's such a cocky asshole that I think I'd have to go with him.
Pump his arse.
AMC is saving American TV. Izzy says AMC is saving American TV as far as not having premium channels. Well, you're right, but they're also bankrupting themselves because their TV shows cost so much money to produce. Like Walking Dead is murdering them. And because they're not bringing in the ad revenue because people aren't watching it live. People are watching it on DVR or they're buying the DVDs, but that's not how ad revenue works.
I think they have a thing now where you can watch it on Amazon Prime, like every time it comes out. So it's not exactly watching the show when it comes on.
That's the thing, is like people aren't paying AMC to stay in business.
They're paying all the streaming.
So like all the advertisers, the only way that AMC stays a channel is if they have ratings. They don't have very good ratings usually. Like they at least in comparison, they have fairly poor ratings, and they have massively high DVR and like streaming ratings. So they have very popular shows, but nobody watches them when they air, and so it's this weird. We as a society, we've got to figure this out. We've got to figure out like how to make money while keeping the content good and available. But making it so that you can stream it here, stream it there, and blah 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 blah. It's a really weird game to play. Very very bizarre.
Very bizarre.
But that's how the industry's played. What are you gonna do? If you're just joining us, you can either ask us a question over on the right hand side where we're chatting, or you can go to
MovieHolics.net
and make sure go scroll down and go to ask us questions. You can leave a question there and we'll answer it. So anyways, since we're out of questions at the moment, let's continue on. With I want to talk about It Follows again. So this thing changes or like morphs back and forth, and something I'm not sure if you noticed, but anytime it changed into somebody nude, it was always the left boob that was left hanging out. Very weird. I was like, does that mean something? So like the right boob is covered and the left boob was left hanging out. Did you not really catch it? I promise I'm not making it up.
Only guys would probably notice that.
Come on.
I'm there for the story.
I'm just reading the articles. Okay? God. Oh, hot mess in a pan.
Lord, stir it up and throw it out.
Anyways, regardless of that though, it changes like into anything. It seems like it'll change into a little kid, it'll change into an old woman, but it only changed into somebody that they knew
They've seen
twice. It changed into the girl with the glasses, you know, when it attacked her on
the little boy that was peeping over the fence.
It changed into him?
Remember come through the hole? That was him.
That was him? Really?
Because they showed him again after that, and I was like, oh.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
This is why we discuss. And then it changed into the kid's mom. And that's the only adult, really, we saw in the entire movie.
And then the last one was her dad.
Did we see her dad?
In photos that they kept showing on the wall.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm curious as to why, you know, like, why they chose to change it into what they did versus, like, always having it be somebody that they knew, you know?
I guess it would probably make people think that it was an exact link. People would probably try to link it to actually something instead of it just being, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if it was one person, they'd be like, okay, it has to do with this one person and blah, 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 blah. Instead of it's changing into different things, so...
Okay, wait a second. We need a thesis paper done on left boobs or gravitationally stronger. Oh, yes they are. This is going to be a question for you because I haven't watched a lot of British TV. What are your favorite British TV shows?
Oh, I love Black Mirror. I love Misfits. I love Residue. There's a lot of little ones. Any ones that I can get a chance to watch.
Misfits. That's one that I have watched, and I love that show.
I like the MI
love that show.
Crew, and I have yet to get into the whole the time traveling thing. What is that thing? Doctor Who. I have yet to get into that. So if you can tell me where to start with it, since there's so many different ones, I will start it because I thought I was going to start it, and I realized that Doctor Who has been on for a long time. So yeah.
It's an interesting question. The Road, Z is for Zachariah, Waterworld, etc. Why are the majority of future films so dark and bleak with our future?
Yes, Luther.
That's an interesting question. If the camera cuts off again, don't worry. We might have to like redo this a couple times to get it back, but we'll be back. So, just so you know, if it happens, I've got this little click ad button here. I'm gonna try out, and I'm gonna see if that'll buy me some time. All right. So why are the majority? I think people inherently have a bleak outlook on life.
Ultimately, just by seeing what's around,
all life ends in death, and it's really easy to look around at the world today and see that it's not great, and it could just get worse really easy. All the crap that you see around the world all the time that are man-made problems. So I inherently say it has something to do with that, but not all futuristic films are like that. I mean, look at Her. That takes place in the not too distant future, but it takes place in the future nonetheless, and they had a fairly good outlook on life. Bicentennial Man, goes through the future. Even a movie like AI, once it got into the deep future, it became, weird.
I think it's just based off of what we see now. It looks like it's just going. I mean, seeing people litter, seeing, buildings not being fixed up.
Right.
Seeing, certain things just not being up to standard as You know, things aren't new, and
Right.
people aren't trying to make them any better. So I feel like that's why when they do these futuristic projections in films, we all just see dirt and, you know, nothingness because it's gone. We're not taking care.
And I mean, you know, let's take a look at some of the older ones though. Back to the Future thought the future looked awesome. So, you know, it's just I think some people, I think some directors and writers kind of have like that. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I've thought several times about like how cool. And I use that in the weirdest way because I don't mean like I want the post-apocalypse to happen.
Yeah,
you know?
so we can wear cool outfits and look like we've been dirty for
You know,
years.
But it is a very interesting place to put yourself mentally, you know. So, you know, I think a lot of really good. It's not all that different than turning the pages back 200 years. You know, I mean, in all actuality, it's really the same. It's just in the future. So, you know, that's the same reason why period pieces get made. I think are the same reason why post-apocalypse movies or movies about the future are, you know, the cinematic license, you know, sends people out and into the boonies and Fallout and everything else. All right, moving on.
I will say the set.
Start Doctor Who at the Snowman episode.
The Snowman episode. Thank you very much. Thank you for that. You're gonna come home see me watching Doctor Who all night while playing World of Warcraft. Anyways,
I hear it's amazing.
It's so many. So yeah, I'm so glad that I know where to start now. I found that the set in Z for Zachariah, it kind of reminded me of DayZ, honestly, the game. The little town, and like how it wasn't completely gone, but it was just still there, and then like all the greenery and all the grass. I just thought it wasn't as gone as I thought it would be, based off of what I thought this film was going to be.
Yeah.
But it was really pretty to see all that greenery.
I do gotta say, I wonder where they shot that, and I wonder how much of that was composited images, because it was super gorgeous. Like, there were a couple shots where, like I kind of lost my breath a couple times, where I was just like, I'm so mind blown by the image. I was just like, is that even real? You know, kind of like when you pull up some of these screensavers, like of the galaxy and stuff. You know. Mm-hmm. Have you watched Peep Show or the In-Betweeners?
I love In-Betweeners. In-Betweeners is so hilarious. I started watching that because my brother told me to start watching it, and that show's a hot mess. But it's so awesome. I started Peep Show. I'm trying to get used to the whole the format of how it's shot. So I'll have to return to that. But the reason I stopped watching that because I went to In-Betweeners to kind of catch up on what's going on. But yeah, In-Betweeners is so hilarious. What was I was walking around. Oh, when we went somewhere and I was like, the Pussy Patrol, that's what it's from.
Oh, gotcha. Gotcha.
So, yeah, but Peep Show, I'm still getting used to that.
Boom. Ah, there is that dang. This is the link I was actually looking for earlier.
Ab du meine Güte.
Ugh.
There's this other show I started watching. It was about serial killers, but I can't remember what it is.
I wear my sunglasses at night. Boom. Alright, sorry about that. Back to it. I have a feeling that the camera is going to shut off again in 5 minutes. In 5 minutes. We're going to find out. See if my assumption is correct. Alright. Sorry, guys. So, let's see. To It Follows. The score. what was it? After we watched It Follows, we watched the CinemaSins, Everything Wrong with on it. He said, "This movie score stole all the John Carpenter."
That's all I thought when I first saw it. I was like, I feel like this is Terminator. I feel like this is all those movies back in
it was an 80s score from like
Tales from the Dark Side and
I mean Halloween, like the original original
like way
score.
back, the real,
not what we turned it into and whatnot. But man, that score was mind blowing. I gotta say, you know what I hate a lot about movies sometimes is when they'll like make you feel with the music. Mm-hmm. I didn't feel like this score did that. I mean, there were a couple spots where it's like, oh, okay, they clearly are going for like an angsty sort of like nervousness, but the score really matched the image on the screen versus the feel, if that makes sense. It didn't. Somebody wasn't sad, and so they played sad music, right?
And that's what I would like that they did that weird 80s music. I'm glad they didn't loop it, so it would annoy me, which was. I'm glad they didn't do that because I would have been like, really? And then I would have had that 80s song in my head all day. Tubular Bells was the first
one. Oh, gosh. Okay, let's see. Philip Seymour. What are you saying here, Izzy? Philip Seymour, Heath Ledger, River Phoenix, John Candy. Who is or will be more missed in film? Ooh.
Because they all bring a different.
Well, I think that the more tragic of all those was Heath Ledger. So I think your question is a difficult one because I think the answer is different for different reasons.
Yeah, because like John Candy, I think that if John Candy was probably still around, I think comedic films as we know them right now would probably be a little bit different and probably still remain true to that old school comedic
instead
as
of
to
the
where
slapstick
forced
shit that we get now.
Instead of the forced, oh, this is funny because I'm Will Ferrell and I'm doing it type thing.
Yeah, it's not funny just because you're Will Ferrell and you made out with a dude. You can't just do that and say it's funny.
Like I think he definitely would have changed the outcome on a lot of stuff. Because I didn't really realize him until you showed me Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. And right. I remember watching him and other stuff, but I was young. I didn't realize.
Rarely, by the way, will I get when I say anything is the best. But I really do think that Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is like the best comedy that has ever been released.
Because all the stuff that happened, it was like legit stuff that happens to people a lot. And, even
with just that slight hint of exaggeration.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what makes it different than like The Hangover. Really, if you think about it, The Hangover and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles are very similar movies, but The Hangover
happenstance.
Way over exaggerates everything, and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles just pushes it enough to where you're like, no, man, come on, really? And so that's what I think is the difference. And it's all right.
She's got double vision.
Sorry about that. Streaming is continuing. Great. I hope that ad thing worked out well.
Otherwise, probably me just doing dumb stuff. Honestly.
So yeah, there's a weird 30-minute. I gotta figure that out. There's like a weird 30-minute cutoff with the camera. So I'll work on that for the next one. Which I don't know about you, but I enjoy this quite a lot. So might try to do this once every couple weeks. It'd be great. So back to what we were saying.
So what I was starting to say was like Philip Seymour brought I feel like he brought a great intensity to a lot of films that he's done. There was one film I watched by myself, and it was, oh my god, I can't remember what it was. So basically it was where his wife committed suicide.
Love Liza.
Yeah, and when I first actually sat down to watch that, that's when I realized that anything that I've seen Philip Seymour in, he has this intensity that it's kind of, you can't really find it with a lot of other people.
Yeah.
And he can even be comedic and still have that intensity of like, you like something he did.
Yeah,
make
remember from Twister. So here's my answer, and I can't just pick one here, so I'm gonna break this down. Heath Ledger, I think, will be remembered as the tragic. Oh man, he just hit his stride and he lost it, right? And I think John Candy will be missed because it was like, God, he was so good and he was such a lovable person. It just sucks that we lost somebody as early as that. Then Philip Seymour Hoffman is, for me, like, God, that dude was such an amazing actor. He could do anything that you threw at him. Mm-hmm. Didn't matter if it was drama, didn't matter if it was comedy. He was like in it to win it. He could be a bad guy, like in MI3. He was so freaking good, and we lost him.
I loved his voice. Lost him.
Oh yeah, and it was amazing.
I don't know what it was, but it's just like.
River Phoenix is the tragic. He had so much ahead of him.
He didn't.
But he lost. He never was able to get there. You know,
he almost won't be remembered a lot by this generation because he didn't.
I bet
go
you.
as far by the other people.
I bet you 20 years and younger have no clue who River Phoenix is.
Mm-mm. And that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
You know, people like us will keep a lot of the people that have deceased alive, as to where it's going to get really hard, you know, with the younger generation because they have no idea who we're talking about unless they're avid movie watchers and we'll go back.
Agreed. All right, let's continue on. Love the answers. Yes, I got. Oh, Flickside! Yay! What up? Yeah, Flickside. So we're having this issue. I'm glad you were able to join us today. We have this issue with our camera that it shuts off after about half an hour. So we got to work on that for the next one, but we're working through it right now. Let's see here.
I love you, Jacob Russell.
So that's show going on. Do you guys love me? Jacob Russell. Yes, I love you very much. Fred Thompson has passed besides Raymond Burr. Who else has played this kind of government legal roles as well? Raymond Burr. Hang on, I'm gonna have to refresh my memory here. You remember Fred Thompson, right? He was like he was a senator for our state or something like that.
What? Okay, see, this is where I have a thing for faces and names sometimes, but if they're not with me long enough, I won't remember their names.
All right, so stand by, Izzy. We'll get your question. So that guy, remember him?
Oh yeah, that guy.
All right, but who's Raymond Burr?
Raymond. Ooh, I know who that is. I know who that is. Perry Mason. I used to see. This is one of those situations where I'm old, but not old enough to remember all of. I remember watching Perry Mason as a kid, like when I was about 8, at my grand's house, because that's all she knew was to watch Perry Mason, Andy Griffith, and Murder, She Wrote, and the Waltons.
The girl looked fit.
And so Perry Mason, I didn't have a chance to really appreciate Perry Mason. Remember, I didn't really have a chance to really appreciate what he was able to do, and I'm pretty sure he did really good things. I'm pretty sure he influenced a lot of the shows I like today, like Law and Order and things like that. GJ.
Sorry, GJ. If you're watching, I'll have to call you back.
Call us back. So, yeah, he's from the weird one. Yeah.
So that's a tough question, Izzy. I'd have to do some research.
And that's a good example is like how generations and age will show,
Yeah.
Again, because I'm old, but I'm not old enough to remember.
You're not old. All right, Xbox One or PS4?
Ooh, okay, so we were hefty Xbox people.
Yep.
When it first hit, like I said, I would stay up all night to the morning playing Call of Duty and all kinds of stuff.
Man,
we would kill Guitar Hero all
yeah.
dang day. Like, it was the B's and E's. And then something happened where we have our 3 Xboxes sitting over there just dying.
Yeah. We don't have an Xbox One. and we could have bought one several times, but
We went with PS4.
yeah,
for
we
some
went with PS4.
reason.
Well, it had to do with the fact that it had a Blu-ray player. That was the start, right? We got a PS3 because I was like, well, I can play games and it's got a Blu-ray player. And so then I started using the PS3 more because we got it. It was new, and that's what you do with new stuff. But then when the next generation of consoles came out, this generation, I should say, Xbox One and PS4, Xbox One just didn't offer anything that we wanted. I mean, is really what it boiled down to. The only reason, and I'm not joking, that I might go get an Xbox One is because Halo 5 and the new Gears of War.
Woo! Jesus!
So...
Woo! Wait, are we going to have to get two, like PS4? Because that was another thing.
Yeah.
We loved Xbox because we could all
Usually-
of our friends, we would all play
Yeah.
at the same time on the Xbox. And when it came to PS3, PS4, we had to have two for us to just be in the same battleground or whatever.
Yeah.
So I said battleground. That's
They know
World of
what you
Warcraft. But yeah. So I wonder, is that going to be the same with the Xbox One? Is it the same?
I don't
With
know.
Xbox One?
See, like gaming has changed so drastically.
It really. That's why I'm stuck on PC.
Yeah.
Like.
That's like, gaming has changed. Like, we used to love sitting together on the couch playing video games together. You know, our Halo 5 doesn't have split screen co-op. God bless
So
it.
then we'll have to probably wait. But I was never really good at Halo. I was good at Call of Duty. You were good at Halo. That was your thing. So.
I was good at Call of Duty too.
But if Gears of War is going to be like how it used to be, I'm pretty sure
Shotgun
we'll have
to the face.
That's where I got really good with shotguns.
She used to just run around blasting people with shotguns. Shotgun to the face, she'd say. Let's see. Do you have any plans for the next episode of Attack of the Rotten Tomatoes? Yes.
There's a whole lot.
Yes, I do.
That's gonna bust out. Here.
I think that I personally want to do The Edge of Tomorrow. The movie got like 90-something% on Rotten Tomatoes. Let's see. Not that I'm trying to do an episode of Attack of the Rotten Tomatoes right now, but let's see. It got a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I think that movie is pretty. I think it's a weak film. It's a good action movie, but 90%. Sorry, brah.
The Gift got a what?
The Gift.
93%.
Really? Jeez.
And I love me some Jason Bateman.
But I was not into that film.
93%. And then Southpaw got 59.
Wow. So we're gonna watch Southpaw maybe tonight. I'm really wanting to see that movie bad. Hey GJ, sorry GJ. I was ignoring. I ignored you for this. Sorry. Played news reporter Steve Martin before the actors ever know. The question is, how the hell do you keep those DVDs on the wall? Because mine keep falling off. Ours fall off all the time. One fell off just a few moments ago.
Whenever we get a break, I'm just like pushing them like this.
Look.
So they don't fall.
So now we use now we
Gangsta is this?
Now we use these little Velcro patches, and they seem to hold pretty well. But yeah, it's difficult, man. Oh, look at that! I just ripped that off, and it's not gonna stay now.
And it kind of sucks because ours are right. Our vent is facing ours, so like if it's too hot, it'll start like getting all like they start falling even more. So.
Keep them entertained, Monica.
Yeah, so I'm literally, before we start any show, I'm putting these up and I'm like literally pressing them. And then, so that's why my hair is always crazy, because I get my fingers stuck in it when I'm, so that's why. That's how we do it.
Yep, that's how we roll. Eventually, the goal for MovieHolics is to have like an actual place to go. And we won't be using DVD cases, we'll have like
Actual
some really cool like
art
of some sort. Not just art, but I mean like it'll look like this. The look is always going to be
just without
there,
the weight.
but without the weight, yeah. So, but you know, we're doing what we can with what we got now. So, All right. I like the movie. The ending was so bad. Southpaw, I think he's talking about.
Oh no.
Oh, wait. Like, what movie? What movie, Flickside? Let us know. Green screen with movie trailers. What? You all aren't even making sense now.
That would be crazy.
I can make that up. You guys.
We love you, DC.
All right, so let's see. What else can we talk about? The ending of Z for Zachariah. We're not gonna actually like spoil it. I think it'd be a pretty hard one to spoil though.
Yeah, and it's weird because to me, at the end of that, it was almost like one of those movies that you watch and nothing really happens.
Yeah.
But things did happen, but on an emotional level.
Yeah, it was a very emotional thing. I 100% agree with that.
So you're going to watch it and be like... But then it's all about that thinking again, like, you know, what happened? Or how would this have been different? You know, I think it just really...
There's a level of tragedy involved with the film, but not like Romeo and Juliet tragedy.
It's ultimately something that happens every day, but it's showing it without... It basically really focuses on something that happened. Things like this happen to people all the time.
I mean, if you've seen the trailer, you kind of
get the idea
what's
of
going on. Like, you know, there's a love triangle. You know, 2 dudes and 1 girl, and I think the hilarity of that situation is the fact that, like, even in the fucking post-apocalypse,
people still got that drama. Imagine if she would have got pregnant. You know, like crazy junk like that. And I think ultimately it's just to make people think about, you know, would we really be attracted to this person if it was the end of the world? Or like, if, you know, like stuff like that.
There's this one moment, it's amazing, in my opinion, where Chiwetel Ejiofor professes his love for Margot Robbie. And I said it in a joking manner, but I meant it when I said it. And I think that is what half of this movie is about. He's like, I love you. And I'm like, I'm speaking for Margot Robbie. I'm like, do you really love me or is it just a lack of options? And
because I think humans want
they
to know that something is theirs.
They need that compassion.
And when a nice little homie rolls up and it's like,
yeah, all of a sudden he's like clings. We got a stage 5 clinger. He went cling status so hard.
Like, what do you do?
Oh golly. Okay. All right. We're gonna read some more comments, but before we continue, for those of you who just joined, if you have questions about the film industry or movies or our opinions on anything, or I don't care, you can ask us really anything. If you ask a dumb question, I'll give you a dumb answer though. If you have questions, put them in the little chat to the side, or you can go to www.movieholics.net and scroll down and hit Ask Us Questions and leave a question there, and we will read it and answer it. Okay, so let's catch up here. Flickside wanted to clarify that no, Edge of Tomorrow had the bad ending. Yes, it did, and that's why I cannot go with it having a 90%.
I honestly don't even remember the ending.
You will. That's why we're gonna watch it again before we actually do the Rotten Tomatoes on it. But yes, totally.
Okay. We'll watch it again.
That's why it's doing terrible with audience, making us think again. Yeah. I mean, Z for Zachariah is a thinking movie, and if you go into it wanting to see people blow shit up, it's not going to be the movie for you. But one dude is friend zoned. Let's see. Have you read the Batman theory from Reddit? I shared earlier on Facebook. Are you talking about the one where Jared Leto is not the Joker? He's Robin when Robin got killed by the Joker.
Are you shitting?
I have read that theory. I've also read a theory that says that Christian Bale's actually going to be Batman, and Ben Affleck is not Batman. He's like a Deadshot or something.
What?
Yeah. It's no, Batman is Joe Cool. Who the fuck is Joe Cool?
I know Joe Cool. I know.
future Batman is Joe Cool. I don't know who Joe Cool is. That's an interesting theory. Let's figure out who Joe Cool is. Are you making this up, Izzy? What are you talking here? Joe Chill? Can Arsenal win the Premier League?
One could hope, right? One could hope.
You must have hopped on when you answered what your sports team was. Hollywood's not smart enough for those twists. Yeah, you're right. Hollywood's not smart enough for those twists. They're way more interested in just selling tickets. They'd
Just
never
making that money.
They'd never go against the grain that drastically.
Going to a grocery store and you got every dang movie that's out with some kind of box of cereal and a keychain.
Yup. Joe Chill. Let's see what he's talking about. Joe Chill.
I guess we need to be friends on Facebook, Izzy.
Yo, friend it
I
up.
thought we
y'all.
used to when we played Star Wars.
Did he
Wait,
play
did he
with
play
us?
Star Wars? Yeah, I think he did.
Maybe he did. Joe Chill. Oh, I do remember this guy from
I remember him too.
The animated series. No, I did not hear that theory. That's interesting though. I see the picture.
Ooh.
Izzy mentioned us in a comment. Here we go. We all know Batman's parents were gunned down in a senseless act of violence which turned Bruce Wayne... Okay, wait a second. Let me get this so we can read it out loud for everybody. Alright, here we go. We all know we all know Batman's parents were gunned down in a senseless act of violence which turned Bruce Wayne into the Batman. But what if the night his parents were murdered, Bruce Wayne was actually the one who caused it?
I heard this before.
If he saw his image of scrambling. Okay. This is a little too long for me to read out loud, but I will read it, Izzy, and I'll let you know. I shall let you know. Boom. Back at it. Just tag me. Boom. Sorry if my grammar's bad. It's okay.
It's alright, bro.
He says I'm from Europe. That don't mean nothing. You still cool in my book. Let's see. Okay. What else? Would anybody have any questions? Are you weighing her in or weighing her out? Is that a euphemism? I don't know what that means. Feel free to let me know. Let's see. Did we miss anybody? Plays the reporter. Tuscany, don't remember. Oh, gotcha. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, no more questions for now. What up, Robirds? How's it going, buddy? This is one of our movie pilot dude. How's it going?
Dude.
What's up? You got some questions? Hit us up. Monaco does makeup in the film industry. I do production work in the film industry. If you have questions about the film industry, you just let me know. If you have opinions or things that you want to ask us about our opinions, let us know. And we shall what? If you got any questions, man, leave them here. What are your thoughts on the Black Mass? I didn't see if you put out a video for it. Haven't been able to see it yet. Unfortunately, that movie came out like at a very bizarre time when I was on this reality show.
Busy. Yeah, it came at a time that we were both really busy.
We just had no time to go see that one, unfortunately. So I hear it's great, but I also heard that it's great in a slow way. So we'll see. I was a little skeptical on it, to give you that opinion, because I just want to see Johnny Depp be Johnny Depp again. It doesn't seem like, I don't know if Johnny Depp even knows how to be himself anymore.
I don't think he does either. He's way past that.
He's always playing like some character where he has to like morph his appearance. Like, I want to see fucking Blow. I want to see that Johnny Depp again, you know?
I think a lot of people miss that Johnny Depp.
Like, that Johnny Depp was amazing. I'm not saying that his character work isn't. Clearly, like, his work in Pirates of the Caribbean is pretty stellar, you know. But
and there's no knocking on what he's doing. It's just like, you know, like
I just
kind of miss like.
I just get so fatigued by it, you know?
Like, he's the new model for a fragrance, and he's in a commercial for it, and that's the closest that I've seen him to being Johnny Depp in the past, like, 10 years.
Right.
It's weird, because it's like, oh, we kind of miss that Johnny Depp. Because everybody still loves him. Well, females love Johnny Depp, and it's just gonna be, it's inevitable.
Yep.
And he was that original, like, how do you explain him? He was that original, like, outsider cool dude that was, like, super hot. And, you know, now we get masks and costumes and accents, and it's kind of like, when's he gonna do aggressively mediocre?
Nice, GJ. Let's answer.
That I agree with the Tim Burton's Love Child.
Hey guys, we're gonna take just a very quick break. I'm gonna reset the stream real quick. Oh wait, maybe it's okay now. Stream health was kind of low, and I was concerned for you guys having buffering issues, but it looks like it's fixed. What were you saying? I'm sorry.
I don't remember.
You were talking about Love Child, Tim Burton's Love Child.
Oh yeah. A really changed, and I think that's what it is. Tim Burton done turned him out.
Yeah, I agree,
basically.
Izzy. I agree, man. I just want to see Blow again. Like, Blow is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Okay, DC.
Straight up. What do you say?
Not just females. That's true. That's very true.
Okay, we got a few other questions here. Let's see here. What are our thoughts on the movie The Watchmen?
I loved The Watchmen. When we first saw it in the movie theater,
I hated it.
he did, and I loved it.
Hated it
because I loved the intensity that it was. I mean, it wasn't like all the other films that were kind of sprouting, and I see why it didn't get much, you know, rave reviews, because it wasn't like the other ones that we were seeing.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was as closest to being a more natural. I feel like that's how, if we had superheroes today, that's what it would be like.
So my answer was like a double-edged sword. When I watched it in the theaters, I did not like the movie at all. When they released the director's cut, I had to see what a near 4-hour cut of that film looked like, and I absolutely loved it. So I don't know if I was in a bad mood when we watched it in the theater or what.
And I think it caught people off guard because it was kind of slow. It wasn't just in and boom, pow. It was actual story and girth around these characters that are actual people, just enhanced.
Right.
And so that's what really did it for me. It was just, and of course the bad guy had a real reason.
Right.
You know, it was legit, I think. It was the most legit. And I'm really curious to see how Inhumans will hold up as well, because again, that's not like what
it's not the
is being dished
formula.
out. Yeah. So, and I remember we started trying to watch that animation, and it was kind of, it wasn't easy for me, at least. It wasn't. It's just because it's not like what we're used to, that quick boom, pow, superheroes, woo, 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 and credits. You know,
right?
It's actually some.
You gotta sit down and watch it.
Yeah, you have to watch.
So yeah, I mean, to answer your question, I think Watchmen is a superb superhero film. Let's continue on. Let's see here. What's eating Gilbert Grape? Johnny Depp is gone. Yes, Izzy, you I think are correct. I look back to Nightmare on Elm Street, and I'm like, did he know he was gonna become this like crazy man?
Was he like, did it ever hit him that he was actually going to be legit, like he was going to be the bee's knees of every person, male and female, on this earth? I
agreed. How did we meet each other? Jonah, we met each other in jail. So I used to be a correctional officer. She used to be a correctional officer, and that's where we met 10 years ago. 10 years ago to the month. Well, I guess it's 1 month past now. October of 2006. October of 2006. It was when we met each other, and we fell hopelessly in love.
We would talk about movies. Like, I remember you calling me when we first started dating, and I was watching Kingdom of Heaven.
I know, and
I was like,
I'm so sorry,
so bored, and he was like explaining. I didn't even finish that movie.
I'm so sorry you're watching that.
I
film.
wanted to like it, but I couldn't.
Let's see. Here's Kyler, my all-time favorite movie. Are you asking me that? Are you asking us that?
I think that's his all-time favorite movie.
We'll move on. Mark Wahlberg or Donnie Wahlberg?
Is you acting up today? I'm gonna buy you a Coke.
Oh Lord,
that's hilarious because I was just watching Blue Bloods the other day by accident, and I'm looking at Donnie Wahlberg and I'm like, he was the bee's knees back in the day. Like, he was that bad boy, and now when you watch him act, it's like he's always gonna be the bad boy, and that's it.
Yeah.
But Mark Wahlberg is kind of like a multitude of people.
Donnie Wahlberg is the bad boy that never figured out that he wasn't the bad boy.
Like, he tried. He's just,
That's no offense to him. He honestly, I've seen him do some really cool stuff. In fact, like, a lot of people don't know that Donnie Wahlberg was the crazy kid in The Sixth Sense. The kid that kills Bruce Willis at the very beginning of the film.
What?
And that, when I found that out, I was blown away. I was like, what? He clearly has some acting chops, but I mean, I think all in all, you got to give that point to Mark. I mean,
he's been able to be more versatile.
Even though I don't think Mark Wahlberg is all that great of an actor, he can act great. I just don't think he does it very consistently. He clearly has the jump on Donnie.
Definitely.
So, okay, the camera's going to shut off. We'll be right back. I'm going to play a quick ad, and we're going to continue for another probably like half hour. Is that cool?
We'll be right back.
Be right back. I hope it's playing. All right.
Because your mom will be here at what? She gets up at 6?
Yeah. So if we just go to 6, I think we'll be good. I promise we're gonna get these kinks ironed out, so we don't have to do this for the next one. All right, let's see. Okay, is Mel Gibson done? Is Mel Gibson done?
I want to say yes, but then again, I want to feel like he's gonna be around to do some really. I feel like he's gonna pull a Liam Neeson.
So the question in the whole is Mel Gibson done, or can he come back a la Marlon Brando? I hope he doesn't come back a la Marlon Brando, because Marlon Brando didn't come back in very great form. You know, he was a very unprofessional actor in his later years. So if Mel Gibson is one of the greatest actors that's ever walked, as far as I'm concerned.
He just got into some nonsense for a little bit.
Well, you know, it's what happens when you say you hate Jews on...
He said juice.
Juice. No. I hate juice.
So funny. But ultimately, it just goes to show that everyone has their thing. And he just happened to get filmed doing that thing and saying that thing. And it really goes to show how the audience really watches the home life of an actor.
Right.
Whatever they do can
it can
alter their
totally
career.
ruin your career. Yeah, I think that he can come back. I think that he has to do it with an awe-inspiring performance, though, or movie, you know.
And I'm pretty sure he's gonna get that opportunity to come back.
He's too good at what he does not to. So, you know,
it's a matter of getting that chance again.
Yep, and I mean, I'm sure he will. Flick side, what's your favorite movie from Stanley Kubrick? The Kubrick. Probably A Clockwork Orange or Full Metal Jacket, but probably A Clockwork Orange.
Ooh. Because I was going to say Clockwork Orange just because I like the artisticness.
I'm singing in the rain. Don't you remember that? Oh, that's a terrifying scene.
And it shocked me. Like, I watched it, I'm like, what is the message here? But, you know, it got really intense for me, I think.
He was a very forward-thinking director. This is I answered kind of this question about Christopher Nolan versus Stanley Kubrick, but you know, Kubrick was always about think pieces. He always just wanted to make a movie that made people wonder what it was about.
Right.
And so to say a favorite film of his, like,
they all have a special...
I don't just love his movies in the first place, is the problem. You know, like, I like to analyze his films, but I don't necessarily enjoy it. You know, that being said, you know, like I said, Clockwork Orange or Full Metal Jacket, both of those films I really did like watching. 2001 Space Odyssey, I think, was it was a great first act and a bad two following acts. Remember when we watched that we watched that for the first time together like 8 years ago or something, and it was like, man,
it was just like...
the HAL 9000 stuff was great.
Yeah.
Everything after that was just like, well, could have just turned the movie off. But he was an innovative filmmaker, so, you know, you got to give it to him. All right, let's see. I hate orange juice. Exactly. Will Disney ruin films and merchandising? Yes.
I believe that wholeheartedly.
Unequivocally.
I'm the one that does grocery shopping in this household, and when I go to the store, it's nothing but all Disney merchandise on every single thing.
And this is why I don't understand why people are so for the Star Wars films. I'm not saying I'm against the Star Wars films. Clearly, I want to see the Star Wars
films. Hold up.
Uh-oh. You got her started. Izzy.
Oh, you got me started.
Oh, she's getting the coffee creamer.
Because we're going to make this clear right now. When my coffee creamers are Chewbacca and Boba Fett, that's an issue.
Yeah.
When you walk by the bologna or the meat,
we go to Best Buy today, and you guys are selling like Star Wars shirts and these helmets and these coolers, and it's all cool and stuff. But like, one of the complaints about the prequels that fanboys have was it was all about selling merchandise. Well, what are you so into this for? You know, because this has been one of the biggest merchandising campaigns that I've ever seen in my life. Ever.
It's crazy. It's on everything, and it's like
the lightsabers, the costumes for Halloween, like the t-shirts. She's wearing one right now. Like,
and it sucks because we love the t-shirts, we love the wear. But does it really have to be on our consumables?
Yeah. Do we need Star Wars coffee creamer, guys? I mean, and so Daniel says Frozen. Yes. I mean, again, case in point, like you see
that
what Disney
really
has done.
just really kicked it into high gear.
Yeah.
And that just really just
like Disney. I'm very scared for the future of Star Wars, to be perfectly honest with you, because I'm scared they're going to start cranking these out like they do superhero films, and like, what made Star Wars special to me? The reason I liked the prequels was because I had never been able to experience Star Wars like that. So when they did it, I was like, yeah, you know? And, you know, fast forward, I'm down to get another trilogy, but we're thinking way beyond trilogy at this point. We're talking about Han Solo prequels, we're talking about Rogue One, we're talking about all these different offshoots, Boba Fett movies and whatnot. I'm really terrified that they're just going to start cranking them out, like, and we're going to lose the magic of what those films are supposed to have.
Because ultimately, that's where the actors, that question that was asked about the actors going to TV, that's what happens. It's like there's this demand from, I guess, Disney to maximize as much as possible, and then that's when the stories start to get really just convoluted and can't hold that tone and keep people intrigued, and ultimately it just becomes a until the next thing, you know.
Yep.
Like I shouldn't walk into Kohl's store, I don't know if you guys know what that is, Kohl's or Target, and automatically see, you know, dresses with R2D2 and, you know, Frozen everything. Like, that's crazy. It's so crazy.
All right, moving on. Robirds, you might hate me for this. I can't stand most of Kubrick's movies. 2001 and Clockwork made me facepalm. Well, 2001 made me facepalm, but Clockwork, I don't hate you for it, though, because Kubrick is a very difficult director to like, in my opinion.
And I just really love, oh my god, I forgot his name.
Kubrick?
No, the main actor in that movie. I think he did such a great job. Oh my god, what is his name?
Ian,
No, Max.
no.
Is it Max? No. What is that guy's name?
Malcolm McDowell.
Yes! Why was I calling him Max? Malcolm McDowell. Like, I just really thought he just did a really great job in that movie.
He was. I mean,
loved, and when I remember watching that movie, I was like, is that guy? Like,
yep, is that guy.
That guy?
It's Malcolm McDowell. So yeah, anyways, I get your point though. Let's see, 2001 was okay for me, but the others were one of my favorites. Shining is my number one movie. Really? No, number one movie ever? The
Shining had a really, I think it really set the tone on a lot of things. It really had that intensity as well.
I think that there were a couple good parts to Shining, but I definitely would not rate it a number one. But it's okay. We all have our opinions. All right, let's see. To be honest, I like episode 1 and hated... 1 and 3 and hated 2. That's interesting because most people are okay with 2 and 3 but hated 1. But yeah, I see your point. They're going to suck out everything from Star Wars. 15 spin-offs, Netflix shows, 10 original movies and cartoons. Exactly.
And probably with everything that will come on Netflix, I'll probably just remain watching Daredevil, and that's probably the only one I'll watch until that gets jacked up.
I'll probably do Jessica Jones, I think.
I love her. I love Ritter, but...
I think I'm going to do Jessica Jones.
I don't know.
I think it's going to be good.
I hope so.
Malcolm McSomething. Yes. Let's see. Played a great H.G. Wells in Time After Time. What's your guys' reaction to the Star Wars baby at the end of 2001? Oh, the Star Baby. Sorry, not Star. I was like, Star Wars baby.
What Star Wars baby?
The Star Baby at the end of 2001. I mean, what's my reaction? I mean, that was a 15 or 20 minute acid trip. 15 to 20 minute acid trip that resulted in an all sentient being looking over the universe. I don't know. It was dumb.
Made me think of Teletubbies when they had a little baby.
I wanted my time back. And my time is the most valuable thing that I have on this planet, and I unfortunately could not get it back afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Okay, The Beast of No Nation. I watched Idris Elba's interview the other day when he was on Kelly and Michael.
I saw the preview for this.
And he talked about it was probably the hardest role he's ever done. I'm really curious to see it after seeing him talk about the film. So I'll probably take a look at that as well just to see what it would.
All right.
Izzy knows what I'm talking about. I have a lot of siblings, y'all.
Flickside says, yes, The Shining changed my life. I watched it when I was around 12 years old, and it changed my look at movies. Hey, that's fine. I'm not saying that, for example, Stand By Me made me... Stand By Me is the reason that I make movies, right? But it's not my number one movie. There are several movies that, like Blow, made me want to make movies, but it's not my number one movie. So it's not bad that you like The Shining. That's totally fine. I just wouldn't rate it as a number one film. I think that there are far better films than The Shining. That's all. Totally like Shining. I would put it in the top 100 easy. Not recasting Indiana Jones. Good call or bad call?
They need to leave Indiana Jones alone.
Great call. I don't need another Indiana Jones movie. Like, I don't need...
Again, I've said this before. I feel like when they keep doing these remakes of classics that we knew and grew up with actors that we liked, I feel like it's a slap in their face, the people that created them and the actors that did those, because it's like completely rubbing them out of history compared to the next generations to come.
I'd be fine with seeing another Indiana movie in like 20 years, maybe, you know? Like... It's all a time thing. I just don't need it right now, you know? Like, we got it literally like 20 years ago. I'm fine. I've had my fill of Indiana Jones. Let's move on. Now, with the Star Wars movies, it's a little different because it's a saga thing, right? You know, but Indiana Jones, it wouldn't be it's a reboot. It's not a continuation of Indiana Jones, as they tried with Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, and it totally failed. So yeah, anyways, I think it's a great idea not to recast Indiana Jones. Watchmen is the movie that inspired me to become a filmmaker. Zack Snyder is my number one director. Well, I wouldn't go there either. But I have strong opinions. Zack Snyder, I think is a very talented guy at doing what Zack Snyder does. But Zack Snyder is a showman. More than a storyteller, I think. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. These have questions on them.
Uh-oh.
What is Chewbacca's signature weapon?
A blaster rifle.
A bowcaster.
Oh, he's right, though.
Okay, one more. Who smashes Boba Fett's jetpack during the battle above the Sarlacc pit?
Han.
Yep. Han Solo. Sorry. Whoops.
All right.
Yes, the Black James Bond thing, I agree. I think that Idris would have been a good fit for the James Bond because ultimately he still has that, I guess, posture, that regalness about him as the other James Bond. He does have that suaveness. A lot of women love Idris Elba.
So, and I got to say something about this too. Sometimes fan theories should just be adopted. And the fan theory was that James Bond is a code name, and that's why there have been different people throughout the years be James Bond, and it would totally open it up, and it would eliminate any of this bullshit, because you know there are going to be some assholes who are like, Black James Bond, you know? They would eliminate any of that shit because if you adopted the idea that James Bond is just a code name,
then there should be no issue.
There's no issue, and it makes total fucking sense. It makes total sense.
It really does. I mean,
like, because they would never use a real name. Like, it totally makes sense. And Idris Elba would fucking kill it, man.
And he would. I think he would bring back a lot of people to.
I would watch an Idris Elba James Bond. I'm not a big James Bond fan, so I would totally watch an Idris Elba James Bond just to see.
Like, I've been watching James Bond since I was a kid because my dad is a super fan. He's on that level with UDC. And honestly, I think it would bring me back to watch it because Daniel Craig just ultimately didn't do it for me at all. Honestly, even though I still watched them, I was just like...
Blind Solo. Okay, let's see here. That's movie for me. Oh, okay, got you, Flipside. You're saying that it's not your number one film, but number one from Kubrick. That's totally cool. I get you. Oh, you think Pulp Fiction is the best movie? I can go there. It was an extremely innovative movie.
It really was. I remember first watching it. I never watched it until I met you, and I remember sitting up at the front with my laptop watching it, and I was just like,
it was one of the...
I couldn't stop watching it. It was so intense.
I won't say it was... It's not even one of the first movies that tells its story out of sequence, but it was the first movie that I can think of that told it so drastically out of sequence, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth to all these different scenarios. And it was extremely entertaining because of that. If you read that script, though, it looks like a mess.
I can only imagine.
Reading it just does not read very well at all.
And that's what, ultimately, that movie was what made me want to watch. Ooh, I'm not forgetting it. Mr. Brown, Mr. Pink, Mr. Blue, Mr. Yellow.
Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, that's what made me watch that. And I think I love Reservoir Dogs more than Pulp Fiction.
I think I agree with that, actually. Reservoir Dogs is such a unique film. The way that they tell the story and everything is great. So real quick, for anybody who's just joining, we've got about 15-20 minutes tops before we're gonna have to call it a night. But if you have questions, go over to the side and leave us some questions, and we're gonna answer them. You can ask us anything that you want, anything about movies or about the film industry, as a lot of you know, or some of you probably don't. I make my living in the film industry. Monica's done makeup in the film industry, so we have answers. Or you can go to MovieHolics.net and leave us a question there, and we'll answer those questions as well. Let's see if
I agree with you, Stephen Hess. He does have swag.
Yes, he does.
And then,
Yeah.
what was it? Someone said Tom Hardy as
for James
Bond.
Can't go there.
I love me some Tom Hardy though. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. But here's the thing. That's where looks. Because I feel like he does acts the same in everything.
I just can't see him as James Bond.
I could though. I don't know. I can't picture that.
I don't know. I would love to be proven wrong, but I just can't see him as James Bond personally.
I can't really see him as James Bond either. Oh my god, that's really interesting though.
Moving on.
I feel like he's so big and not
moving on.
Snatch word.
It does make sense that it's a code name. Think of all the G.I. Joe guys who had exactly. Daniel Craig, second to Sean Connery. Sure.
He's talking about James Bond.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
Yeah, I totally can get that. Even though I'm not a real big James Bond fan, I totally understand that being the order. I like the newer James Bond movies more, their production value factor than anything. I mean, yeah, sure. You know, like the production value's gone up drastically with the James Bond movies, but I don't know. I'm just not. Honestly, I'm not into spy films like that. You know, I guess like Born Identity a spy film? Like Born Identity is different. Like I'm okay with those movies. I was worried about The Kingsman. I didn't think I was gonna like it, but I ended up loving it. So I'm just not my thing. It's just I don't know. I think you either are that kind of fan or you're not.
Tarantino time jump equals
what? Equals Abrams lens. Oh, fair enough. Tarantino time jump equals Abrams lens flare. Tarantino has so overused that now with everything.
I can see that. It's amazing how many stories he's been able to do with that method.
But he also has started toning that back a lot. You know, like if you look at like Inglourious Bastards, for example, that's pretty straightforward. It jumps to different scenes, but I mean, every movie does that. But he wasn't really playing with time in that film. He didn't really do that in Django Unchained. He's not going to do that with the Hateful Eight. So he did it, but he has gotten away from it a lot, I think. So yeah. Anywho,
what happens.
RD is freaking great. Hateful Eight looks like RD meets Western. Yeah, probably talking about Reservoir Dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Gerard Butler is greater than Tom Hardy. I'm guessing is what that means.
Yeah. I could see Gerard Butler as a Bond.
I can see Gerard Butler as a Bond villain.
He needs to be a villain. Gerard, wake up. Time to work, bro.
Monica says she wants to start. That's probably about when you were... First Bond flicks I watched were Roger Moore ones. There's a reason why the franchise took a while to appreciate it. Maybe he's gotten better, Quentin Tarantino. He's gotten better, in my opinion. Definitely, 100%.
I think he showed that he can do a little bit different, go a little bit.
We got a form submission on the website. Edward or Jacob?
Okay, let's talk about Twilight for 2 seconds. I have yet to even watch how many. I don't even know how many there are. Number one, and that movie I think is a really good example of how something can get blown way until it's completely monetarily dry.
You know, I liked the first movie. Okay, believe it or not, I know that some Izzy's like no. What's the mic? I mean, I liked the first movie. Okay,
It was all right for what it was.
and the second movie was like okay, and then it was like by the third, I was done. After the
I
second
don't
film.
even know, but that I feel like is a really good example of something being completely just because there was Twilight, everything, shirts, everything.
Another case of the merchandising thing.
And
is
then
that
what
owned by
hap-
Disney?
And then what happened? They got to the last film, and everybody was just like,
Yeah.
I think it's still funny when I see people that still have the "I drive like a Cullen" thing on the back of their car. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
I just want to take that off.
Whatever. Did you watch Mr. Robot? No, I heard that we should though.
Mr. Robot.
Yeah, it's that like
Why do I know what that is?
because I told you that somebody said we should watch it. It's a TV show. Mr. Robot.
I feel like I don't remember what it is.
I've been told 1,000 times that it's great. It's awesome. You should watch
Oh, the computer thing.
it. Yeah. I freaking
Might
love
give
it.
that a
Top
try.
2 with Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad was great, man, but it didn't. I think the ending was a little. Not good.
I guess, ultimately, was there a really good way to end it? Which
I
is
went
why.
out in a blazing glory. That's how it should have happened. Let's see. Great show, you guys. Got to take the watch. Hey, Izzy, thanks for tuning in, man. We'll see you next time. Boom, boom, boom.
Happy anniversary!
Happy anniversary. All right. Do you either of you watch Doctor Who? Oh no, you came in. We were talking about this earlier. Monica's gonna start watching it with the
snow. I was told to
episode.
start at the Snowman episode because I got a little bit overwhelmed when I went to go watch and saw how many there were.
Yep.
So I'm gonna definitely, because I love me some BBC.
Where do you think she should start? I'm probably not gonna watch it because I just don't have time.
Yeah.
Let her know where you think she should start. She'll watch it.
Yes.
At least BB ended better than Dexter. Yes, Steven, you are correct. Breaking Bad definitely ended better than
I
Dexter.
just hated that they left Dexter like that. Like,
Yo, man, that CG storm was so dumb. And, man, I felt the same way about Sons of Anarchy. Spoiler alerts.
why
But
did they leave it to
That
open?
CG truck was so dumb. That whole sequence was... Like, the sequence itself would have been great, practically, but it looked so bad because of the budgetary problems, Remember when I first met you, Kyler, and said that you looked like Aaron Paul? yes, I do.
I don't think so.
Every time I pull into a drive-through, you look like, I'm like, Jesse Pinkman. Yeah,
I don't think
can I have my
so.
food, please?
I do not see it. At least you don't
Um,
get Raven Simone. She done shattered everybody's dreams.
Yo, don't she look like Raven Simone though?
I don't
Oh,
got
she
no
not
makeup
so
on.
much anymore because she really.
I have
cleans
no
it
makeup
up.
on today, y'all. So
Yeah, she's right. Like, pitch another good ending for it. I think they did an okay job with it. I couldn't make another ending. LOL. Pitch another good ending. I'll think on it, and I'll do some sort of like alternate ending video for it. I'll tell you. Yeah. Boom. Shit. Daniel's freaking out about the Raven
DC, I'm
Simone
gonna
thing.
whoop your butt.
Oh, lordy. Do we have any more form submissions? Nope, not yet. So if you just tuned in, ask us some questions and we will answer them. And it can be about anything that you want.
Anything
What
that
else?
you want. Video games, TV, films,
Yeah, anything.
plays.
Favorite positions while playing video games on the couch. Anything you want.
I like to play Call of Duty like this. I like to play World of Warcraft like this.
All right, let's see. Aaron Paul and Raven Simone.
She totally.
Sons of Anarchy ended at the same shot as the beginning. Two crows eating bread. Yeah, that's fine. But still...
I'm just gonna miss it. Honestly, like...
I was an emotional wreck watching the
when
ending.
I first... Y'all, I started watching Sons of Anarchy before Kyler. Like, I don't think he had any interest in it whatsoever. And I just watched it on a whim. I'm like, okay, Charlie Hunnam, I know who he is. Let's watch this. And I was stuck. And then I got him watching it, and
She was about 6 episodes in, I think, and I was at my computer. I think I was playing WoW because I was a big WoWer back in the day, and I just heard some stuff. It was, and I remember the episode too. It was when some guy was getting his tat ripped off of him, and or cut off of him, and I was like, "What are you watching?" She's like, "Sons of Anarchy." I'm like, because you had told me a few times.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you had told me 3 times, I'm watching Sons of Anarchy, and I'm like, whatever, I don't want to watch that hick shit.
And that's what ultimately kept me from watching it. I was like, I don't know about motorcycle bros.
But
Charlie Hunnam's hot, but I don't know nothing about this. And then you watch it, and it's like, hello, welcome to Motorcycle Clubs. This is what it's about, or at least that's how we're portraying it. It's so funny how many motorcycle clubs there are now after that.
I know, man. There was one here in Hendersonville called the Brothers of Apocalypse.
Oh, I seen the Iron Doors or something like that the other day, and I'm like,
craziness.
do y'all think y'all living like the MC on Sons of Anarchy?
Right?
The MC Sons of Anarchy. They have their little shirts and their little prospect
Original
vest.
OG.
I'm like, y'all so funny.
Robert says Snowman is way too late. Start at the 11th hour.
11th hour. Okay, will do.
I can always BS about speculation. Hang on, let's see if there are other questions, then we can BS. Next time I have free time, there are strong chances of Photoshop in my future. Can you predict that, Monica? What are you talking about?
I'm gonna beat you down, DC.
Yeah, watch The Shield. It's the same creator. Yeah, I've heard.
I used to watch The Shield.
I've tried to watch The Shield, and I just couldn't really get into it.
Because I love that man.
Favorite 2015 film thus far. Thus far, 2015 film. And each of us, it says, both of you can only pick one. I think he means that we can't pick the same one. So, I'm going to say Ex Machina.
Ooh.
Hands down my favorite film of the year. I'm not going to like Star Wars as much as I liked Ex Machina.
I can't think of a favorite, nothing that really stood out to me.
Okay. Sorry about that. So we continue.
I'm probably gonna go with. I'm having to look because there's been so many.
We've watched a bunch of movies, so
we've really killed it up this year.
Give her some credit. Since we started this YouTube stuff, we've been going to the movies more than we ever have.
Yeah, I know. Ooh, God.
I can tell you. No, I'll wait until you answer.
Honestly, I feel like my favorite is still Crimson Peak, just because how pretty it was. That sounds bad, but maybe The Visit.
I was not expecting that.
No, The Visit. The Visit. I'm going with The Visit.
I would have expected to hear Mad Max, but
there's so many.
Yeah.
If I had to go back and watch one right now, it would be Mad Max.
All right. Let's see. Oh, I heard he has a new show. I think it's called The Bat. Yes, he does.
I haven't watched that yet. I wonder if it's any good.
He does have a new show. Best so far. Oh, golly. Best so far. Interstellar, then The Martian.
I like The Martian better than Interstellar.
I like Interstellar better than The Martian. But they're two totally different films. One's there to invoke thoughts, and one's there to entertain. The Martian is there to entertain. And it did a good job at it. I liked the movie. I still have a problem with the fact that they cast Matt Damon and Jessica Chastain, and it's about being stuck on a random planet by himself.
They wanted to confuse people into watching
and that's what happened in Interstellar. So I still have a problem with that. I wouldn't have had a problem with it if it had just been a person. Let's say it was Christian Bale. Christian Bale stuck on Mars. I would never have thought about Interstellar and The Martian.
Right.
But because they did what they did, I was left with no choice but to like draw those conclusions all the time. So I personally think Interstellar kicked The Martian's ass though. So, but it's why cinema's amazing. I will weep uncontrollably at episode 7. Fair enough. Interstellar was last year. Oh, you're right. But still, for me, Mad Max Fury Road. Again, good answer. It was a very good film. I know people will hate me, but I think Mad Max Fury Road is a little overrated. Please don't kill me. No,
we won't kill you.
I mean, no. That's the thing. The thing about hype is a bitch. All right, and that's why I'm scared about Star Wars. Not for me, because I don't really eat into hype, but people do. And this movie is so hyped that I don't think it could ever meet the expectations of the fans. Like, I think it's going to be great, but I just, and it's the same thing with the prequels. It was so hyped up. It's so hyped up. It just it fell drastically short for most people. And so, yeah, hype, it's totally fine. Mad Max is overhyped, but it's still a good film, and it was nice. It was a breath of fresh air in terms of action films, because we're used to action films like Live Free or Die Hard, that are just retarded, and I'm a fan of the Die Hard series, but Live Free or Die Hard was a terrible movie.
I still watch that one all the time.
Live Free or Die with his son? No.
Oh, is it that one?
Yeah.
Oh, ooh, no! I remember watching that. I was like,
oh no.
Live Free or Die Hard.
Live Free or Die Hard is
that's the one I watched.
Yeah, my bad. That one's good. A Good Day to Die Hard. That's the one that I meant. My bad.
I was like, I don't even think I even paid attention to that movie.
Hot mess in a pan. And so, yeah, Mad Max was not that, and it did action well, and it's something we haven't seen in a really long time. So that's why it got overhyped. So that said, let's move on. Oh my guess. You see, Martian. Let's see. Agree. Martian or Gravity? The Martian.
Because Gravity made me sleepy.
Gravity got too hung up on the technical aspect of space travel, I think.
I think that's ultimately what it was mainly focusing on. That's what their goal was, just to give somebody like that space experience without having to go to Atlanta or Georgia or whatever.
I think it's also
Huntsville, Alabama.
Bullshit that the cinematographer won best cinematography in that film, considering that literally 90% of the movie was computer graphics. So, if you're going to allow Gravity to win best cinematography, then you, in my opinion, have to start allowing these Disney films, these animated films that do way cooler shit with their cameras than what Gravity did. And I mean, because there's no difference. And there's no difference, you know what I mean? Like, it was such a heavy film for CG. It was ridiculous to me when I won. Anyways, we could debate that if anybody wants to. Oh my gosh, I think Gravity's the most overrated film ever. Boom! Nailed it. Second best movie so far is Ant-Man. Totally disagree, my friend. I think Ant-Man is.
I'll watch it again.
I'll watch it again, but I definitely think it's a mediocre. I think it's a mediocre Marvel film, and he's a total mediocre Marvel superhero.
They tried though. At least
they did.
They tried.
I expected Episode 7 wouldn't be as good as the originals. I know that, but I hope it's better than the prequels. See, I think that the original saga is another group of films that are severely overhyped. I think that they're good and entertaining, and I really enjoy them. But I hear people say that like Episode 7 is, or I'm sorry, my bad. Episode 5 is the greatest film ever made, and it makes me laugh. Continuing. I've heard that we've seen nothing from the last 1/3 of the Episode 7 in the trailers. That's good. I mean, I really enjoy the fact that they're not like giving us everything. This is the thing that I hate most about movies nowadays is like their previews. Was it Terminator Genesis? Showing like, you know, that he was a bad guy.
I already told you what was happening before it was gonna happen.
It's so ridiculous. It would have been such a good thing to see in the theater, even though like that movie was a hot mess anyway. But yeah, I'm very happy that at the marketing that Star Wars has done with their trailers. All it's been is like fan service stuff that's like gotten me excited, you know. So I think they've done a really good job. No way it can be worse than the PT prequel trilogy, I think. Yes, I respect Mad Max so much for the real effects. I loved it because of that. I also loved the movie overall, but is it the best movie in the last? Is it the best movie in the last 5 to 10 years, like some people say? Best action movie,
yeah,
maybe.
action-wise.
You know, I think it's way up there. I can't think of another action movie in the last 10 years that made me feel so good about it.
Camera battery, Kyler.
Oh snap! It actually says that. Okay, we'll be right back. We're gonna have to wrap this up here very quickly. I'm gonna finish up these questions. I'm gonna change the battery, and we'll be right back. Playing ad, la da 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 da. Playing ad, maybe. I don't even know if that's working. It's probably not. And we're back. All right. Sorry about that. All right. We are going to wrap this up here shortly. The camera battery lasted a good long while. I'm impressed. All right, let's see here.
Jam.
Best cinematography was Sin City. To be honest, episode 5 is my least favorite from the originals. Gosh, I'm so different. That's what's great about movies, though, bro. Like being able to look at a movie and interpret it 2 different ways. You know, a lot of people will say that you can do that with paintings. I have a harder time with paintings. My brain just doesn't work that way. But with movies, I think it's amazing. That's why I think movies are the greatest art medium in the world. So it's all good. Don't you worry. What makes me laugh is when people say the number 1 movie ever made is The Dark Knight.
I can agree with that.
It's definitely not the number 1 movie ever made. It's a good film. It might even broach greatness, but that movie's got a lot of problems with it. If you break it down, you know, like I love the movie, but that doesn't mean that it's one of the best movies ever made, and it sure as hell is not the best movie ever made. Now, I don't know what movie is the best movie ever made. That's a very difficult question to answer, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. I mean, you definitely agree with that, right?
No, yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah. So, it's funny because it doesn't play the ad. Great, excellent. No money for us. Episode 5 is my personal favorite movie, but I know that's by no means the best movie ever. Jonah says best movie ever made is Fight Club. Definitely don't agree with that either. It's a great movie. It's
so fun how many people have, you know, everybody, it goes to show that ratings and these sites can say something is the best movie ever, but ultimately to each and every person.
Yeah, it's going to change.
I love Gladiator. It's my favorite movie. I think it's the best movie ever, but y'all will be like,
Gladiator's really good, though.
Because I love me some Gladiator movies. So.
Oh, hey, Daniel Constance wants everybody to know that Avatar is his favorite movie. And he's talking about the M. Night joint, by the way. He's talking about The Last Airbender. Avatar, The Last Airbender is his favorite. You troll.
Oh my god. And you know, I used to watch that dang cartoon on Nickelodeon, and I was like, oh, my entire family did, and we all loved Avatar. And then when they announced the movie, we were like, oh yeah. And then when we go see it, we were like, you were so mad about it. Like, you were just like,
I don't know why. Why did we see that movie in
because
theaters?
we thought number one, it was M. Night Shyamalan. You always go see his movies. We've always gone and seen his movies.
This is true.
And
we even did After Earth.
Yeah.
I think it was a way worse movie than... Anyways.
But, you know, we just thought, oh, it's going to be cool. And I had watched the cartoon, but, you know.
All right, moving. Let's see. I tore The Dark Knight apart in my opinion, Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises are Nolan's worst movies. Yeah, I agree with that, but that's like he is. There's those movies that are still superior to so many movies out there. So it's like, in my opinion, like the worst of his movies are like light years better than some of the other shit that we get today. So yes, I agree. They are some of his worst, or they're probably his worst movies. But that's also because like all of his other content is super original and on all fronts. Like, you know, it's always, he's always doing like really interesting, you know, dreams and time travel and insomnia and that kind of stuff, you know. So they're very different movies than what Nolan typically does. I still really enjoyed them though. Happening, best movie ever, 12 out of 10. You're totally right. You know you're nuts.
We were just talking about this movie the other day, and ultimately it's watch. What was it, Simpsons that we watched on that, or was it Honest Trailer? Watch Honest Trailers on The Happening because it's hilarious.
It is. Starring Oaks, Maple. Have you seen Moneyball? No. I'm not into biopics. But yeah, should we?
Yeah, because I'm curious.
I am just not. And
that's the main reason I haven't watched, because I'm like, do I want to watch it?
Biopics are very, very difficult for me to watch. Mostly because I'm like, I mean, I already know how it ends. Just like Wikipedia. It's like the Titanic, guys. Like, boat sinks. The end.
It was the magic before the boat sinking. Man, I cried so hard on that movie when I went and saw it in theaters. I went to the bathroom because I was crying so hard. And I did not know why I was crying so hard on Titanic. I just knew I loved Leonardo DiCaprio and I didn't want him to die.
I'll never let go, Jack. Bitch, move over. There's plenty of room.
I cried so hard. Why was I crying during that movie? It makes no sense. There was no reason to cry. Not like Lion King.
Oh, gosh. All right, let's see. I love Gladiator before Ridley Scott lost his talent. Ridley Scott hasn't lost his talent.
He's sleeping for a little while.
He took a nap, but The Martian, I think, was a good return to form, in my opinion. So we'll see what he continues to do, if he follows it up or not. But, you know, I even got through Exodus. You know, there are, I think, issues with that movie, but I got through it, and
it just didn't have enough.
I think they almost tried to go too original with it.
Yeah.
But, okay, let's see here. A Good Day to Die Hard, 16 out of 10. You just trolling now. You trolling like Daniel's trolling, like DPXPC.
Who called you out? DC called you out.
Asif Mandvi. What are you talking about? Robert's taste is all in his mouth. Okay. What? Oh, I saw that video. Celine Dion made my heart sing. I'll never let you go, Jack. Why you always lying? Why you always lying? Oh, God. Let's see here. I haven't seen The Martian, but I absolutely hated Prometheus. Exodus was meh.
I hadn't even watched Prometheus yet because
I did, and I was just not a fan. Yeah, I agree.
You went and saw that in movie theaters when I was out of town. Yeah.
Yeah, with Rye. Yeah, I didn't. I wasn't into it. Although the funny thing is that I'm also Daniel. Oh, we have two Daniels in the house,
darling.
Excellent. What about movies you like that people? I'll tell you one. I'll tell you one that I really like that people give me shit for all the time, and it's Meet Joe Black. I love that movie, and I get made fun of so freaking hard.
I'm trying to think what people give me.
Bicentennial Man is another one that I get crap for all the time. Click.
Oh, God. It took me like 6 times to watch Click.
But then she finally did.
I finally did, and I was crying.
Exactly.
Again.
Exactly.
What movie do I get ripped on? I don't know. I have a weird movie.
Do you get ripped on for movies? I don't think you do.
I think like the only thing is maybe Chicago, but I like musicals too.
Oh yeah, I kind of ripped on her on that one. Yeah.
I feel like there's another main one that I love and you did not. But I love that this is not even a main portion. Pitch Perfect. Cabin.
We did own it.
Oh! That moment when you have so many movies that you end up buying doubles because you can't remember if you have that movie already.
We straight. That's so funny.
I guess we'll just send it to somebody.
Whoops.
Give it to
See. I get made fun of for liking Green Lantern.
Ooh, I hate Ryan Reynolds, so
I can kind of get that one though, bro.
they had potential. It had great potential to be probably one of the best superhero movies made, and something just didn't. For me, something didn't click. I don't know. Maybe because I hate Ryan Reynolds.
It was a poorly thought out movie. But, you know, like, I still like it better than not the new Fantastic Four, but the old Fantastic Four. What are you going to do? What sequel do you hate the most? Jeez.
Smoking Aces.
Oh, Smoking Aces 2?
That was atrocious.
I didn't watch it.
Don't watch it. Don't. I only watched it by accident. And I didn't even finish the entire thing.
Golly, I don't know. I can't.
What's another
I
one?
can't think of any sequels off the top of my head. I'm just kind of bad like that.
You know, I just thought of one that someone asked a question earlier. What movies do we want to have a sequel for?
Uh-huh.
Correct?
Mhm.
Fifth Element.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Fifth Element.
That'd be cool. And the question was actually, what would you want to make one on?
Yeah, it would be Fifth Element.
What sequel? Golly, that's a really good question.
Because there's so... But yeah, I say definitely Smoking Aces. Probably Horrible Bosses 2. No.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, that was weird.
Somebody's trying to break in.
Somebody's breaking into our house. Hold on 1 second. My girl. Let's see. The Matrix sequels below.
Entertain them, Monica.
What?
Entertain them.
The Matrix. You know, the only... I really like the one... I don't even know which Matrix one I like the most. I think that's what it is. I like the Matrix 2 more than Matrix 1.
Don't you want me to walk across it?
Okay. I'm back. Oh, did you say The Matrix?
He was the Matrix. He
Um,
gets hated on because he likes the Matrix 2 more than 1.
oh, that's really interesting. I can't answer your question right now. I can't think of a great or a terrible sequel. I mean, I'm sure I could, but there's just nothing coming to me off the top of my head. I'll come back to it if I think of it.
And it's funny, Steven, with the series, he asked a question about what
Shows
he
that you
would
would be
convince or
convinced to
cajole.
watch.
I did not watch Firefly until I saw the movie that kind of branched
Serenity.
off of it. Serenity. I did not watch Firefly until I watched Serenity and saw that in theaters. And then I watched it and I liked it. It was pretty cool.
I can.
What's another show?
One that I strong-armed her to watch that it took her. It just like it was like she didn't want to do it, but she finally did, and she ended up enjoying it while it lasted. Was Jericho.
Oh yeah, yeah. You were really on me about that.
Yep.
And there was another one.
Spartacus.
Spartacus and Breaking Bad. I did not want to have anything to do with those.
Yep. And The Walking Dead. I was all into like, let's just give it a shot. Worst case scenario, and then
I thought it was gonna be just garbage.
yeah.
I was like,
So I mean, so did I. Really. That was when TV started getting good. It was like right around that same time. Let's see, the Matrix sequels below. I get hated on because I like Matrix 2 more than 1. Ruined a decent standalone. I kind of agree, but I did enjoy the whole series. I really don't get the hate for Green Lantern. Not perfect, but for the first attempt at a character, they could have done a lot worse. I've seen Daredevil 2003. I mean, fair enough. Totally. I can't disagree with that. Cannot disagree with that. I like Terminator 1 more than 2. I definitely like Terminator 2 better. I think that Terminator 2 is one of the best sequels that has ever been made. Personally. You?
Mm-hmm.
Godfather 3, but that isn't a sequel, correct? TWD is good. Oh, The Walking Dead is good when you can watch it 4 episodes at a time.
I know.
Right? I hated Fear the Walking Dead so much, I made a rant. F at AMC. I like Alien more than Aliens. Fair enough. Those are all pretty good films, though. God, I'm still tripping that I can't think of a really terrible sequel.
I know. I feel like there's good ones, but like.
Fantastic Four 2 would have been a very terrible sequel. Rise of the Silver Surfer. Jesus Christ.
That had potential too, but it's just something.
Let's see. Did I miss anything?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Guess we gotta wrap it up.
Yeah, we gotta wrap it up, guys. We gotta go eat. We're gonna take my mom out to dinner because it's her birthday. What'd you guys think? Did you like it? Did you enjoy it? We answered a lot of questions, and it was a fun time, I think.
Avengers 2 sucked. Y'all, Kyler watched Avengers 2 like 100 times.
Negative. I watched Avengers 100 times.
Oh!
Yeah. Avengers 2, I still haven't broken out of the packaging.
Oh my god. But thank you all so much. If you do have any more questions that you want to ask us, again, don't forget to go to www.movieholics.net.
Yeah.
Enter those in so we can do this again and hit those up first things first.
Yeah, and we're hopefully wanting to do this bi-weekly at least. We'll see what happens. This is pretty easy to set up and it works well, luckily. So, anyways, if you have anything else, make sure to hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and SoundCloud. And if you haven't subscribed to us yet, please, for the love of God, subscribe to us and share us with your friends, because the bigger we get, the more we can do this. Internet hugs to all of you as well. Daniel would like you to know to go to the forums page and leave some stuff in the forums.
But yeah, and we'll try. I saw that Flick. We'll try to give a little bit more notice beforehand, so we can try to
1:30 a.m. So you're over there, yeah.
Get let you know at least hopefully maybe a day or something beforehand.
Yeah, we'll announce it in one of our videos or something, or
just to keep you up.
Make sure to do the Facebook thing. Hit us up on Facebook for sure, because I'll post at least a day in advance that we're gonna do a whatchamacallit, a live stream. Steven, and the forums page is on www.movieholics.net. You go there and there's a forums page, and you can leave us anything that you want, and we'll answer it in time. So awesome. Thanks, guys. We love you all very much, and we will see you again soon. Adios.
Bye.
Muchachos. It's not gonna play the ad though.
No ads are playing.